Harry Davis from Mirror Fighting. I'm joined by Richard Riakporhe, head of first world title fight, rematch against Chris Billam-Smith. A couple of weeks away actually, 15th of June. I bet you're excited to get this underway.
I'm really excited, and I think it's been a long time coming. Big event, Selhurst Park, man, it's going to be jumping, energy is going to be high, and I got a beautiful opportunity to win the world title and mark my name in the history books forever.
Be about 5 years since the first fight. Is it one that you expected again to come around with Chris?
Yes, and funnily enough, I was actually calling for this fight for the last year and a half. We wanted that fight instead of the Glavaki fight. That fight fell through for whatever reason. It definitely wasn't on my side. And on another occasion, but they wasn't interested in that fight. I think they took a collie, and it worked out for them. But we're back around the full circle.
Can you talk to me about that? Because I saw Chris say, he's jokingly, that it's the second or third time he's asked for this fight, and you're sort of saying the same thing. So what was the confusion, maybe, do you think, on his behalf and your behalf?
I think he's telling PORKIES, seriously. The reality is, we were campaigning for that fight. We wanted that fight. He got offered some big numbers, and there was interviews that Shane McGregor put out. It was like, look, they offered big numbers to us, but we feel like we were going to take other opportunities and stuff. They wasn't interested because they knew that I was a big threat for them.
First fight at Selhurst Park, even better that it's for a world title. When this came around, did you think, wow, this is just perfect timing, the fact that it's your first world title shot and first fight at Selhurst?
Yeah, I was thinking, can you imagine, just, I visualised myself lifting that world title as champion at the end of that night. And I feel like it's going to be such an iconic moment for the club and for all the parties that are involved. Obviously Adidas, as I'm an ambassador for them as well. I feel like it's just meant to be, it's written.
Chris says that he's a different person and fighter since he first fought. Who do you think's made the more improvements in the ring, you or him?
Me. I've definitely made the most improvements, especially from how I boxed some years ago. Very raw. You can see opportunities that I would miss when I'm fighting, and everybody always knew, like, if I just get it together, I'll be unstoppable. And I feel like I'm actually at that place now. When I see opportunity, if I smell blood, the fight's over.
How do you think he will be in the ring compared to last time? Because you had him hurt on the ropes. I was watching that last fight on the train up here. He was sort of back on the ropes. You hurt him with some good shots. He obviously showed his great chin. But do you feel like this one will be more decisive?
Absolutely. If I land shots, which I believe I will in this fight, he won't have no chance to recover. He would be out cold.
Your story is fascinating, because I remember reading an interview where you said you didn't even think you'd get into your 20s, let alone your 30s, and now it's the first world title shot. And I think you discovered boxing at 19, and sort of like a full circle moment that it's at Selhurst Park, first world title shot, and you could be a world champion now. Did you ever think that when you took up boxing in your late teens that this would be the case at your 30s?
No way. When I came into the gym, the reality is I actually didn't even know that they had competitions in the amateurs. I thought it was just pro boxing and that's it, and this is just learning how to box, and if you want to take it there, you just turn professional and box. I didn't know the whole system of boxing and stuff, and when I started to learn more, that's when I thought, wow, like, you can actually compete now. Okay, let me try it out and see how I do. It was very nerve-wracking. I didn't know how I was gonna do. I didn't know if I had the talent or anything like that, but I just wanted something to do, really, and I wanted to learn how to fight. I never would have expected that I would have gone this far. No way.
Mention your personal life. I know you're a big advocate for knife crime. Do you feel like if you become a world champion and get that next stage, that will make you even voice that even more?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's sad because just in the news yesterday, I know a small teenager got stabbed to death. And he was just minding his own business. It was an attack that he didn't deserve. He was an innocent young boy, and it's really sad, and yeah, I feel like I could be an advocate for that for sure, and just help bring some awareness to what's going on. I think the government needs to take action and do more to change what's going on right now. I don't know how, obviously that's not my profession, but I can only bring some awareness around me and see if we can do something to help.
British boxing is at an all-time high at the minute, and I remember a few years back you were working with alongside AJ when he was with Angel Fernandez, and I was wondering that because now he's at the sort of forefront of the heavyweight picture. He gave you some great advice a couple of years ago. What was that advice, and have you spoke to AJ in the last sort of couple of months or not?
Yeah, I spoke. You know, he messaged me 2 days ago. He's just asking me to tell someone to give him a shout. One of my other friends. But yeah, he's a boxing. He lives, breathes, sleep boxing. Even though he's achieved so much already, and I feel like we're in line. You know, when it comes to like just that energy for boxing. And yeah, he will always say, you know, if you get opportunities, take it. You know, it could change your life forever. It could improve your life in so many different ways. Everything is an opportunity. You know, that type of mindset. And yeah, I've been living like that ever since. So everything is a W.
What do you make of his sort of resurgence of his career? Because everyone was sort of writing him off. I know he gets a hard time from us press and media, but he's sort of turned over a new leaf now, and he's sort of on the cusp of an undisputed shot if things go to plan next year. Do you think he would become undisputed?
Yes, I think he would. He will come undisputed in the future. I feel like he was just finding himself. He got into a period in his life where he just didn't understand certain things that was going on. Maybe he was trying to understand himself better as a man and what he desires from the game of boxing, and maybe from other places in his life. But you know, he found it somehow, and you can see him doing the performances and putting the performances that people want to see, and he's getting a knockout. So I feel like he's there now. He's got a good setup, and I think he's just going to go on to do more and more great things.
Just two more. I remember a couple of years ago, the holder of this belt was Oleksandr Usyk, and now 6 weeks away. Sorry, a couple of weeks away actually. 6 weeks is your fight. I think in about 3 weeks he's fighting for the undisputed heavyweight titles. It's crazy to think he was in this division. Now he's moving up. How do you see that fight going with Fury? Because a lot of people either see it as he's too small, or some people see it as, look, I actually think he's going to get the job done against someone who's much bigger than him. How do you think?
I think it's a 50-50. I think Fury has a lot of attributes over Usyk. He has size, he has reach, he has a very strong mindset, and you know, he's the Gypsy King. You know, so it's gonna be a tough fight for Usyk. At the same time, Usyk he's built of steel. You know, I feel like, you know, he's blessed with reflexes, with footwork, boxing IQ. He knows how to pressure fighters and stuff like that. He understands how to think and act under pressure. So, and he's hungry. You know, he's hungry. He wants to create a big legacy, which he has been doing, and that makes out for all a great clash. So I feel I'll lean slightly to Usyk. That's me being honest.
Finally, I'm not sure if he was one of your heroes because you took up boxing sort of late, but sad to say that Mike Tyson is actually back in the ring, and a lot of people are divided with this fight. I'm guessing you don't want to see him in the ring, but because he is back in the ring, do you think it will go better than maybe people were expecting? Because a lot of people were worried about his health. Are you sort of worried for him or not?
I think I am worried for him. I don't want to see him fighting. You know, I think he's like 60, but 67.
He's 58. Going to be 58 when he fights.
58.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, 10 years now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still old. You know, I feel like if I'm boxing at 58, then I've done something incredibly wrong. You know, I shouldn't be nowhere near a ring at those ages there. That's like a pensioner age, you know, in my opinion. And to keep competing in boxing is crazy. It's crazy. It's really sad to see, honestly, especially with what he's achieved and how he's perceived by the boxing public and just even casuals all around the world. He's so, you know, famous and known, and he's still loads of people's heroes. Yeah, it's pretty sad, and especially the opponent as well. That makes it even worse for boxing as a whole. But you know, as long as he, you know, takes care of himself, and you know, if that's what he really wants to do, he'll want me to say, like, you know, don't do that. You know what I mean? It's his life.